Hey guys, just out of appreciation, we're going to do a quick video, just kind of outlining more of Crawford. Well, a fight that outlines pretty much Crawford in a very short time span. I appreciate you guys coming watching my videos and enjoying them. Last video already has over like 80 watch time hours, and again, this is your time, so you guys appreciate it, I appreciate it, and we'll come out with more shit, and that's the whole point of this video. Crawford versus Hank Lundy. Again, it's a nice little outline fight. Shows you precisely Crawford's weaknesses, tendencies, patterns, and just overall what he does. His whole goal, again, is checkmate. Guys like Sean Porter, guys like Spence, you know, the new Spence, the celebrity Spence, and guys like Keith Thurman, they eventually got to the point where they kind of lost, I think, the goal, lost their aim, kind of forgot that they're professional boxers, you know what I'm saying? They're more worried about other shit, talking in front of a camera, going to the club, blowing up and waiting between fights, not doing, you know, what got them to where they were in the first place. And Crawford, you know, he's always been the same guy. He's always been doing the same shit. You know, this man, he's training year round. He does go to the bar and shit. It's always the same fucking bar, but doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, doesn't do any of that shit. Constantly helping out other fighters prepare, you know. He's more busier, of course, these past few years helping out other guys than he is preparing for his own fights. But it keeps him sharp, it keeps him in the gym, it keeps him out of trouble. You know what I'm saying? This man goes fishing. This man, he's a family man for the most part. But his goal and the emphasis needs to be understood that it's always checkmate. You know what I'm saying? Even when dudes do have big time success on him, you know, he kind of finds a way to come right back roaring and responding. And, you know, he's not in there for no fucking back and forth fight. He's not in there for no participation award. This man at all times is figuring out checkmate. This man at all times is reading his opponent. You know what I'm saying? Some guys fight negative fights, you know what I'm saying? And they make Crawford the aggressor. You've seen this a lot in the welterweight division. Last guy who really tried to go at him was Jeff Horn. We all saw what happened to him. If Sean Porter does come with aggressive style, you know, I think it would make Terrence Crawford happy, because he's had to deal with guys who waited on him to come in and try to counter him. Kell Brook, you know, these guys, they all talk about how he's small and shit. But here we are, Crawford's the guy walking these dudes down, you know what I'm saying? He's a guy moving up from lower weight class, and these dudes, Benavidez, who's like 5'11", Mean Machine, who's the same size as Spence, you know what I'm saying? All these guys who are supposedly bigger, even Kell Brook, they tried to play counter-puncher against this man and fighting negative fights, not really being aggressive at all since that Jeff Horn fight. But again, this is just an appreciation video for you guys who come around and you do take your time out of your fucking day to come and watch these fucking videos. So, like I said, this one was quick and easy, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. But again, the emphasis is still on checkmate, you know what I'm saying? Still on, you know what I'm saying, intent. You know, there's a goal, there's a purpose. Minus maybe someone who's in there to troll, or minus someone who just wants a good fight and wants it to be close. You know, Sean Porter, he's not a guy who knows how to cross the threshold to victory. He's a guy who will always let victory slip, you know, out of his fucking hands, you know, and I see no different in this fight. Again, we're battling narratives that Crawford has just fought nothing but bums, and these are guys who originally wrote off Sean Porter. These are guys that tried to fucking fight his dad. These are people that always talk shit about Sean Porter, and these are people, you know, who claim that Spence was just going to dog walk this dude, and now they act like they're the biggest Sean Porter supporters, you know what I'm saying? Although Ugas got higher viewership in his fight over Sean Porter did against Formella, you know, it is what it fucking is. These guys, they already know what fucking time it is. They're trying to convince themselves that Sean Porter's just going to show, just like he showed Spence, because Spence wasn't really experienced until he got to Porter. You know, he struggled a lot in that fucking fight. And again, These guys, they first called for the Kell Brook fight, manifested that fight, then they excused it, and I see no different for the Sean Porter fight. But let's go ahead and get into these rounds, guys. And again, I appreciate you guys coming around and taking time out of your day to watch these videos. So this is just a quick one for you. Let's get into the fight. Again, this is just an appreciation video for you guys who enjoy the content. This is Hank Lundy. You guys want to be entertained, watch the lead up to this fight. Lundy was very funny. He even called Crawford's wife fat, dude. This dude was getting in Crawford's head pretty bad. We're in the first round here. Again, this fight is perfect for just showing overall outline of Crawford. It shows you his weaknesses, shows you his strengths, shows you his patterns, shows you his fight flow, what he does, how he adapts, how he takes away his opponent's success. He's somewhat thought of as a slow starter, but this fight you're going to see he immediately takes away the success that Lundy was over here having. Now you saw Lundy land a 4-3. And Crawford, he's already a little bit more personal just because of the shit that was said and everything, but he got caught with a 4-3 again by Lundy. Lundy's doing a pretty good job here, although he got clipped in his body right there. Takes a while for Crawford to find his bearings. He got caught with the 4 again. The 3 did not land by Lundy, but Lundy's having a very good round. And Crawford, he is susceptible to getting hit, but I mean, plenty of fighters have been hit in their career. Like Floyd Mayweather, for example, when he got clipped with the overhand right by Shane Mosley. You know what I'm saying? Shane Mosley didn't land that punch afterwards. Nice lead jab by Crawford. He's already switched to southpaw. But this is a Lundy round by far. Don't get it twisted. He's landing more of the power punches. He's landing the best punches of the round. You know what I'm saying? Crawford's already immediately switched to southpaw. He typically does that because it gives him more angles. Now he's pawing, range finding with his jab. He's avoiding those shots that Lundy was landing frequently in the round. Lundy toying him. You know, he let Lundy get in his head. Like I said, you guys want to be entertained, you watch this, the lead up to this shit, dude. Crawford was welling out, so was Lundy. Lundy lands that sequence again. Gets clipped on the side of his head. The right hook by Crawford. Now Crawford's landing a solid jab. Lundy lands partial. Yeah, Crawford knows he was getting his ass whooped that round. But this is what I'm saying. People say Crawford is a slow starter. I kind of tend to disagree. You know, he's highly aware of what's going on inside that ring. And you're going to see all the success that Lundy did have that round. It's pretty much going to be cut short as of now, guys. And this is what I'm talking about. This is a low-level opponent, although Lundy, in his last fight, I think he should have got the nod, or it should have been a draw or something. A lot of Crawford opponents still giving these new school fighters trouble, you know. But as you can see, where's the sweeping right and then the left hook that Lundy's been landing on Crawford? Try to land that sweeping right again to no avail, you know. Crawford's finding his range a little bit better now. He's fighting a more poised fight, calm fight. He's got his head more about him this round. And as you can see, Lundy's success is cut short. And this is what I'm saying. This man is master adaptation. When we were all little kids, we all played that game where the cards were flipped over and you had to match them. You know what I'm saying? Some kids, they had trouble with that game. Crawford's a dude, you can tell. He remembered where the cards were and he knew how to match them quite well. He's landing some nice jabs. Like I said, his range is getting far more better. His bearings are a lot more better in this round. He's a lot more focused. He's not as personal as he was in the first. and it's leading to a lot more success. You know what I'm saying? By Lundy's account, he claims that he showed the blueprint on how to beat Terrence Crawford. But I mean, other than the first round, you know, it's like one of those things where they kind of exaggerate when Crawford gets hit. If he loses a round, that means he's lost like 3 rounds. If he gets hit with a punch, that means he's been getting his ass beat all fight. But punch stats and everything else will tell you otherwise. You know what I'm saying? Again, I think people really highly exaggerate when Crawford gets hit or when he's taking shots, especially when you compare it to his contemporaries such as a Sean Porter, such as a Danny Garcia, such as a Keith Thurman, who's been on Queer Street more times than all the fighters I just mentioned. And by far lesser not lesser competition, but low-level competition that was at the end of their career, you know. Not being real accurate, but it is distracting Lundy. He's occupying Lundy with that jab. And as I said, as you can see, compared to the first round, Lundy's success has been cut down drastically, guys. I mean, very, very drastically. And like I said, that's automatically adaptation on Crawford's part. He is a slow starter, but as you can see, he did a very quick turnaround in this fight. And I believe he did this. He did get caught with that left hook there, stuck his tongue out. Indicator that you know you got to Crawford when he does that type of shit. But as you can see, other than maybe that last 10 seconds of that round, he's already getting caught with jabs right now. But finding his range a little bit, he's finally starting to unveil the left hand too. This is a weakness I see as Crawford. It takes him a while to unveil his left when he's in the southpaw position. It's a good counter to his opponent's straight right because Crawford is susceptible to the overhand right, straight right. He's lucky Lundy wasn't, you know, didn't land that shit because it would have been some big shots if they did. But I think his lead jab did offset that sequence of Lundy. But as I said in the prior round, Lundy's success has been cut down drastically from that first. That first round, he was on fire. He was landing some very nice shots. Sweeping rights, left hooks on Crawford. And Crawford knows it. But Crawford's already made the adjustment. And as you guys can see, he's already basically taken away Lundy's best weapons. And Lundy right now, in his mind, he thinks he's in the fight. He thinks he's been schooling Crawford. He thinks he's up 2-0 right now. But I highly disagree. It's 1-1 in my opinion, and now Crawford's starting to get his bearings on his lead left. You know what I'm saying? And again, as I was telling you guys earlier, it takes him a while to unveil that left hand. It also takes him a while to unveil his body punching, and I think those are weaknesses of Terrence Crawford. If he can do it a little sooner, he can cut down his opponent's success even more. But at the same token, this is still a dominant guy. This is still a plus-minus ConcuBox leader. This is a guy who rarely loses. I don't think he's lost more than 3 rounds in any fight that he's been in, guys. And I don't think it's going to be any different when he faces Sean Porter. But as I said, this fight greatly details in a short amount of time span the whole outline of Terrence Crawford, in my opinion. That's why we're going over it. And again, I appreciate you guys coming and watching the video. So this one was a quick, easy one to do. But as you see, again, this man's Lundy's success, getting caught with jabs and shit, getting a little frazzled, coming in with the clinch, landed a headbutt on Crawford, landed a nice dirty overhand left too with that type of fighting. Perhaps Porter can have some success with that, but we'll see. Because that's some shit that Porter will do right there, that sequence you guys saw. But again, Crawford's been the man that's been in control. He's been landing his jab. And as I said, he's slowly but surely starting to unveil that left hand. His bearings are almost complete. I think it's 2 rounds of 1 Crawford. And they highlight the up jab that he landed on Crawford. But you know what I'm saying? I think that was still a Crawford round. Lundy trying to come out with more assertiveness. His corner probably told him, you know, he's starting to lose these rounds and he needs to go out there and do what he did in the first round. But Crawford, little by little, again, that left hook or that left hand. The jab's been on point, but the left is finally catching its bearings, and it's making Lundy a little wary. And slowly but surely, this is what I've been telling you guys, Bud Crawford is in there for checkmate. He's not here to have a good fight with you, go back and forth, toe-to-toe, and all this bullshit. It's not what Terrence Crawford's goal is. His goal is ultimately checkmate. He's trying to figure out checkmate. You have chess players who like to take everyone's, all the pieces before they really try to beat a guy. And you have players, they trying to get you in fewest moves as possible, and that's Terrence Crawford to a fucking T. You know what I'm saying? Nice right hook counter by Crawford. Avoided getting countered by Lundy himself. Lundy, he's starting to smile, clown around and shit a little bit. Still getting popped with that jab. But again, where's been this great success compared to the first round? You know what I'm saying? And Lundy himself has switched to southpaw. He's pretty much trolling, but you know what I'm saying? You're not being effective, buddy. You won your participation award in the first round, and since then, you're kind of out of it, and you're not even aware of what the fuck's going on. I do feel what Porter brings to the table may kind of offset Crawford a little bit, but again, he is going to make the adjustments, and he is going to take away what is being successful for Sean Porter, and he is going to find a way to counter it and a way to intercept it, and a way just to overcome, as he always has. Sean Porter is a good fighter. He's a very solid fighter, a very great athlete, but standards been lowered in this era of boxing. What you guys consider elite and B-level, A-level fighters, to me, they're like C-level. Sean Porter, to me, is a C-level fighter. He would get destroyed by guys like Cotto. To me, Cotto was a B-plus level fighter. You know what I'm saying? And I think Cotto would beat a lot of these guys. I even think a guy like Cotto would give Terrence Crawford trouble, But in this era, look at that. The left's finally landing, and it had a little nice effect. Buckled Lundy a little bit right there. We just come from different times. I'm kind of old school. I grew up in a different era. Nice jab by Crawford. He finally landed a solid left in the last round. You know what I'm saying? So that shows you that he's finally getting those fucking bearings down. He's avoiding the punches. Lundy's still in southpaw position. I don't know why, other than to maybe troll and mentally clown Crawford, but he's not been effective at all since the first round. Although they did highlight his little up jab in that one round. And look, the left hand, slowly but surely, is having more and more of effect. And it's slowly creeping into this fight. Again, Lundy's trying to smile, clown around and shit. He did land a nice little lead right, but Crawford countered back with his own left. You know what I'm saying? Jab to the body. Another jab to the body when he feinted up top, went down low. It was pretty nice sequence by Terrence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? He's getting them occupied with the body jabs. Lundy tried to counter, but miss. Crawford defensively responsible. His defense is doing a hell of a lot better. You know what I'm saying? This man, it's a crescendo. It's slow, but as it starts to get louder and roars on, it's what you just saw, a big-ass left hand land, and it's pretty much the beginning of the end. He's finally found the checkmate. Nice body shot by Crawford. And this is what I'm saying. He's aware and alert. Crawford's a master at seasoning openings, and again, left hand finally, Trojan horse finally did what his intent was, and that's just to decimate and annihilate his fucking opponent. Knocked him back on the ropes, and he still fell forward. It's not the hardest punch, but at the same token, it has a devastating effect. He also has a cut around his right eye, and it's pretty much it, guys. Again, this is just a outline. Like I said, it's real easy to go over, but you get to see Crawford's weakness, strengths, fight flow, overall patterns, tendencies of Crawford. You know what I'm saying? But again, this man, his whole aim is checkmate. Sean Porter, I don't know what his aim is. And Errol Spence, he used to be a pretty good finisher, especially against lesser opposition. But you're starting to see this man. He's in the club. He doesn't take care of himself and shit. He's fucking up. Keith Thurman, same deal. He started to check out pretty early, you know, as well. After that Danny fight, he was content with his career, and he hasn't really done shit since. I think with Spence beating Porter kind of had the same effect. He's over here getting drunk, wrecking his cars and shit. He's got a level of contentment, and he's trying to cash. What he wants to do is cash out versus Canelo. You know what I'm saying? That's what he really wants to do. But Crawford just in devastating fashion. Although he wasn't that accurate after the fucking that left that sent Lundy down, but that left was being calibrated the whole time. And again, Bud's aim will always be checkmate. He's not here for no participation award and shit like that. So there you have it. Again, I said it's a very good outline fight that shows Terrence Crawford, you know, summed up. You know, you got to see how he's highly susceptible early on in the fight. If he is going to get hurt, if he is going to get clipped, it's most likely going to be in those early rounds. Also, later on in the fight, he does kind of get not complacent, but he kind of drops his guard a little bit, and he can get clipped in the later rounds as well, you know, especially when he feels like he's far ahead and just dominating the opponent, and the fight's pretty much over with sooner or later. You'll see him get clipped in those moments too. It happened against Gamboa. Felix Diaz, I think he got caught in the 8th round with a big shot. I mean, it was a nice solid land, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't necessarily big. It didn't hurt him or nothing. But it tends to happen, you know, sometimes in the later rounds as well. But again, this is a appreciation, just quick film study real quick for you guys that do enjoy these videos. Do come around and take time out of your day to watch this shit, you know what I'm saying? We will come out with more, guys. You know, drop some comments or whatever, and we'll see what's up. Talk to you later.